Alright, so now that some time has passed and emotions are a little more leveled, I figured I'd talk about the latest livestream from Genshin Impact, specifically the part where they talk about the anniversary events. And you can't see it, but in my little script here, I wrote events in quotation marks because they're not really events or anything. But first, 2 points. One, I am aware that they said they would release more information later on, but that was only seen in the Chinese update, and considering we still have no access to those KFC gliders like we in the global audience were told we would get, I'm not gonna hold my breath. Two, for those who don't know, some background. The 2.1 patch will be active during the game's first anniversary on September 28th. And in gacha games, the anniversary of the game tends to be a big event, from free summons, or at least a special banner, lowering the cost of the stamina system, and free items. The anniversary and other milestones is typically a time where the game just gives a bunch of stuff to the players. And don't get me wrong, this is totally a marketing technique. Every time something is given to the players, it's a marketing technique. With anniversaries, it's presented as a celebration, but really it's just an incentive for new players to join because they get free items, so they're willing to try, and then they get a potential new paying customer. Plus, when you give stuff to the player base and treat them as if you value them, whether you do or not, it makes them more willing to keep paying and playing. Yes, you will have some free-to-play players, but there will be others who see this kindness as incentive to keep playing and keep buying. Heck, I am one of those people. I almost never pay to play in gacha games, but with Genshin, I found something I'm very interested in. With the way they treated their audience, I felt like it would keep growing in a direction that would be fun, and so I was willing to give some of my money to the game to try and get the characters I wanted. Which is why the anniversary stuff is a little weird, to say the least. And I just want to clarify, not everything in the update is for the anniversary. Most of them are just standard events that would be in the game regardless. The ones that are specifically for the anniversary are the Engraved Wishes event, a new contest, and an online global concert. Also, there's a new login event, which wasn't specified as being part of the anniversary, but it includes a reset at the shop, so I'm gonna count that as well. Plus, if I didn't, there would be no in-game content for the anniversary. Which, I mean, you can kind of see that part of the problem now, yeah? But before I get into that, I just want to clarify, this is not the voice actor's fault, nor is it the developmental team's fault. The people who work on creating the game and building the world are not in charge of these decisions. So please, I understand why people are mad. I am unhappy too, and later on I am going to rant about the contest. Like, you don't even know. That angers me so much. But do not be mean to these people who don't deserve it. They're working under strict confines and decisions by people not part of the creative process. It's the same with any creative development, so please, I know the people who watch my videos probably would never, but I feel I need to say this because the English VAs got harassed because of the live stream, and they're so wrong, and they are not deserving. Okay. That note being made, moving on. First, the online anniversary stuff. A lot of people are saying that miHoYo doesn't have to give people anything at all, so we should be happy with the little we're giving. And that is true. However, like I said, free stuff is always a marketing technique, and it's actually a marketing technique that the company used a lot at the start. If there were any issues, if they reached a milestone on one of their social medias, and even when they received the Game of the Year award in 2020, Primo Gems were giving out in handfuls, which is why the shift to suddenly receiving very little is confusing to long-term players. When Genshin won another Game of the Year award in July at the Mobile Game Awards, there was nothing, when months beforehand they'd given out 800 Primo Gems for the same thing. In a sense, they set up an expectation in players and then just suddenly shifted. And this shift is made worse in the sense that players are realistically getting less for the anniversary of the game than they did for the Chinese New Year's. And yes, they are a Chinese company, so those saying it was a random event are wrong, but arguably the anniversary should be at least on par with the Lantern Rite Festival. And these differences are clearly coming from the fact that there is a difference in marketing. You just need to look at the official Twitter account to know that they're handling things differently. It's no longer Paimon, but Genshin Impact. There's no more Teyvat Times. There's so many small little things that gave their marketing and company so much personality that's just been stripped away. And so it makes sense that the long-term fans would be disgruntled by the whole thing. The game's marketing went from creative and showing a real love to their fan base to, oh, it's the anniversary, anniversary. Well, we'll reset the shop so you have more incentive to buy stuff from us. Ha ha ha. And really, the other problem about the anniversary event is that most of them are not in-game. I'm sure that there are a number of people who will love the concert, and it must have taken a lot of effort to orchestrate, which is not an intentional pun, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people who will enjoy the event, but it doesn't scream anniversary. Not with the new soundtrack coming out. And right now, while I've seen a couple of articles saying that it is, I don't think there's been an official announcement as to whether or not it's free. Okay, so, editing note. Apparently, the Japanese Genshin Impact Twitter has mentioned that it's free to everybody, but their social media presence really needs to get everything together and more organized. Like, even the live stream when they was saying, hey, there's gonna be a delay. On Twitter, they said it was a half an hour, and then on Facebook, they said it was an hour. So, that one, I think, is just the social media getting mixed messages. But yeah, so there you go. Either way, though, it's arguably better than the other things, which, from what I can tell, is the main anniversary events. If you haven't heard, they're planning on building a giant, in-real-life Paimon statue, and you, the player, may submit a sentence through a website to have the chance to make one of the 50,000 messages that gets engraved on the statue. Now, I was interested, so I actually did the math. There is a 0.002% chance your message will be picked because there are, according to Google, 21 million players. Now, my math may be wrong. I am terrible at math, but even if it is, I don't think the odds are much better. So most players' big anniversary thing will be seeing a picture online of a statue of Paimon. Happy anniversary? Yeah, this is undoubtedly something that would be an amazing award for the creative teams behind the game, but to present it as an anniversary gift to the players just seems to leave a bitter taste in the audience's mouth. And I can't really blame anyone for that. It doesn't show a love to the fan base, and I'm not saying that the creative team doesn't deserve it, because they definitely do, but they're marketing it so terribly. Like, the marketing team and the not just marketing, but the upper level management are all just making such decisions that are like, why? And finally, the new contest. For those who don't know, a contest is typically held on Hollow Labs that focuses on whatever the main feature of the current update is. They had a Serenity Pod contest and a Windbloom photo contest and all sorts of smaller stuff that was just meant to boost either the social media presence of the game or get players onto the Hollow Labs site. Like, the photo contest winners were literally chosen at random from the hashtag on Twitter. And I have problems with the contest they hold, from changing the rules and not really telling anyone, to the way they kind of just announce and forget about it afterwards. But the contest for the anniversary kind of reaches a new level of bad. The Journeying Together Anniversary Contest has participants submit bus designs that MiHoYo will have full rights to use in any sort of advertisement, whether they win or not. But even with the amount of prizes they are giving out, not including the Primo Gems, because please remember, it doesn't cost them anything to actually give those out, and they have no way of proving that someone would actually buy that regardless, so you can't say that's a lost profit. They are giving out $2,893.90, and this is US dollars. To put that into perspective, hiring a graphic designer to make a logo from scratch ranges from $500 to $2,000, and they are getting multiple bus designs for free, some of which very well may include original art. Pricing aside, the way that the contest rules are written allows them to use any submission without compensation. So even if you don't win, they can use your design. And I know I already mentioned that, but I want to bring that point home because they will also have complete copyright over the work. So the people who made it won't even necessarily get credit. And as someone who is a freelance writer, this just angers me so much. Like, the rest of the script was written prior to the announcement, which is probably why it comes a lot more calmer. But now I am just very angry and I am fuming because this is incredibly shady and it's the kind of stuff you do to take advantage of people, and I'm just so mad. But I'm gonna stop this rant now because talking about the contest feels like it should be a video in and of itself. So back to the originally written script and hopefully a calmer Tirmel. As for how we, the audience, can change things, I don't know. I don't even fully understand why this change in the marketing's direction was made, because I'm not a marketer, I don't understand this. But I do know how to not handle it. Please don't bother customer service about it, they have no control. Don't harass people online about it, because they have no control. You can make your anger known, and that's probably what you need to do to show MiHoYo that you are not happy with them, but you also have to make sure it's not the people who have no control that you're taking your frustration out on. It's unfair to them. After all, most of them are just trying to do their job. They don't have control over marketing or management or anything like that. They just want to make a game that they love. They're not the ones screwing this up.